Eddie, here we go. 217 days on, 31 weeks, 7 months, 3 days. Who's counting? I'm counting because I'm excited. The rematch in Riyadh, Ring of Fire reignited.
Do you want to do that again? Or?
Yeah, I didn't quite get that off. No, we're just going to carry
fine.
on. Doesn't matter.
I know you're learning, so
yeah,
I sometimes like to give you the opportunity. Well, but I think it's good sometimes if you don't get it right.
Yeah,
you know, and just roll with it rather than keep editing and cutting it.
Well, it's a bit like when Mosquea left me hanging in the ring the other day.
Awful. Anyway,
you just got to keep things moving.
I can't believe it's 200 and what?
217 days. Who's
quite remarkable. Quite remarkable. I thought the last fight would be a stinker, and it was one of the best fights I've ever seen live. I mean, I got it very wrong. Tremendous fight. I think people are forgetting how close the fight was. I mean, I think it's difficult to not pick Oleksandr Usyk for this fight, but at the same time, let's be honest. I mean, I had it a 2 rounds max to Oleksandr Usyk, and obviously that was with the standing count. So I expect another really, really close fight on Saturday. I'm picking Tyson Fury for many reasons. I'm channeling my inner karma to him because obviously of the potential of what might come and the fact that we're British as well. But I've just got a sneaky feeling. I don't know, just you start buying into the pre-fight build-up. I saw the stuff yesterday. I thought he looks very relaxed. Usyk talking real cocky, real different this time. I don't know if that's good or bad, but I'm going Tyson Fury, and I'm going Tyson Fury on points.
Did you not say in Monaco last week that you can't see a way how Fury beats Usyk?
Yeah, that was last week.
Right. Okay.
No, but you just... I don't think I said I can't see a way.
That's your coffee that you requested, sir.
All right, mate. I think if you can try and find that...
We will run the tape back,
because I don't want any defamatory marks from you. But I don't think I said I can't see a way how he beats him. I said he can beat him. But what I said was, I don't see how you can confidently pick for Tyson. I don't think anyone can. But I'm switching that up. I'm doing it.
So what's changed your mind this week then?
Just, I think in the past, I have not expected or believed that Fury was capable of doing extraordinary things.
You've doubted him, you mean?
Yes. What he did, well, you know, I didn't want to go there, but what he did in Germany against Klitschko, unbelievable. He didn't just beat him. Is that mine, Matty? Come on, Matty, bring it in, mate. Was you going to get someone else to bring it in?
I was going to put it there.
Thanks, mate.
That'll be straight on the Instagram later.
Look,
should be.
Players Player of the Year, Managers Player of the Year, Instagrammer of the Year. No? Yeah.
Fair play. I'm sure the fans are really buzzing to hear about this.
Germany against Klitschko, unbelievable. Wilder, particularly Wilder 2, incredible. I think he's the kind of guy that has it in him to do something extraordinary. And this fight is about being extraordinary. The only way you win this fight is if you do extraordinary things. We know Usyk can, he's done it his whole career. Tyson's capable of it, and I believe he'll do it on Saturday night.
How are you feeling about being a part of the DAZN broadcast team, and how did that happen?
Well, I'm not getting paid, so I think that's a bit of a liberty, to be honest with you. But listen, I think it's every now and again you got to bring in the big boys.
Right.
And, you know, I think it just adds something different to the broadcasting. I won't do my sarcastic stuff because some people watching around the world won't get it. The reality is I've been watching boxing since I was 7 years old, 8 years old, which is, you wouldn't believe it, coming up to 40 years.
Wow.
I know a huge amount about the sport. I know a lot about Oleksandr Usyk. I worked with him for half a dozen fights. You know, I've been around Tyson Fury. We're very invested in the heavyweight division, and I love it. So hopefully I can deliver a little bit of knowledge, but a lot of passion, a little bit of fun for what is an iconic night for Riyadh season and boxing around the world.
Do you think you'll be, I mean, normally on the panel you have your different roles, right? You have the analyst, you have the commentary team, but you have Mr. Controversial. Do you think that could be you this week? Have you been told how to?
No one really. The TV people don't realise how much I know about boxing, technically. Like, ask people close to boxing I work with who know. I know a hell of a lot. But do you want to hear Eddie Hearn talking about breaking down the jab? You know, and working on it. I mean, I'll be doing it, but yeah, I want it to be serious. I'm not going to go in there and just be what I normally am, like a class joker or a performing seal. I'd like to do it as a serious job that night, a job without money, but still a job.
You did say once, actually, you think you could do everything yourself on one fight night. So you could do the commentary, you could jump in the ring, do the MC, do the interview, and then present the next fight.
I know I talk a lot and we have a joke, laugh and a joke. When you say do the lot, right? First thing that would happen, building up, you'd have to promote the show, obviously. That's not a problem. On the night, presenting. I don't want to be condescending, right? But you do it, right?
Yeah.
So we'll leave it there.
Right. What do you mean by that exactly?
Well,
I think it's easy.
No, I wouldn't say it was easy.
I appreciate the blood and sweat.
Well,
I
believe I've got a lot of ability. I'm quite skillful. I'm not saying if you could do it, I could do it, but you get where I'm going with it, right? Okay. Then we go on. They throw it to the ring. Now I don't want to step on David Diamante's toes, but I'd be brilliant, MC.
Give us a bit.
Then they're throwing it down to the commentary team.
Give us a bit quickly.
Not a problem. What?
MC.
Ladies and gentlemen, sitting in the chair in front of me, somehow he found himself within the industry. Still, no one knows why. We don't know if he's Scottish. He says it's strawberry blonde, but that's questionable as well. He stands at 5'5", a little bit chubby, but some biceps are popping out. Calls himself a presenter. Who knows where that will go, but we just simply know him as Jamie, the Willy Warmer Ward. I don't know where the nickname come from. So, and then from there, I think we just, yeah.
Thanks, I enjoyed that. I'll tell you what, we are rambling here. Let's get into the elsewheres of this.
Cut this
card
up for social, so it's serious.
No problem, we will. Is Anthony Joshua coming on Saturday night?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Possibly, but I don't think so. With AJ, this is Usyk and Fury. AJ's never going to jump in the ring. AJ's never going to scream and shout. If you asked him honestly, he would prefer to sit on his sofa and watch this fight and just enjoy it. Rather than, what do you think about this? The cameras everywhere. So, we'll see.
Usyk has said that should he beat Tyson Fury again, he's thought about maybe going back down to cruiserweight. Do you think if he beats Tyson Fury again, it might be the last time we see him in a ring, or do you think he will still want to carry on?
Boxing's all about money. Of course, it's about legacy as well. He's done the legacy bit, hasn't he? Undisputed cruiserweight, undisputed heavyweight. So now we're on always a little bit of legacy, but more the money mission. And I don't know where the money comes from outside of AJ and Fury at that level. I know you've got Dubois, but it's still not the same kind of financial win as those fights. Dropping down to, you rarely see a fighter move up in a division and then come back down again. Hardly ever. So, listen, for me, oh my God, I would love to see Usyk fight Opetaia. By the way, special shout out to Opetaia against David Nyika.
Good fight.
Oh my God, look, we were fighting the mandatory in Sin Cara, which we weren't over the moon about. Sin Cara's okay, but the reality is, we have now walked into a mandatory fight against David Nyika, who deserves a massive amount of credit and respect for stepping up and taking this fight. I love it. This is a massive fight for the Gold Coast on January the 8th. Australia against New Zealand. And obviously if, as we expect, it's a tough fight, Jai comes through, we want him to unify against Ramirez, maybe fight, now the WBC seems to be up in the air. But Usyk against Opetaia is a wonderful fight. And I think Jai would probably go to heavyweight for that fight as well. So, I don't know. I don't actually see Usyk coming back down to cruiser.
Time will tell. One word on Ishmael Davis. We're in the gym with him yesterday, firing on all cylinders. He's so excited to be here, but why do you think he can be a good example to a lot of fighters around the world right now?
I think as a fighter and as a team, there's no blueprint about the decisions you should make. Everything is interpretable to the fighter and to the position that they're in. Okay, so if there was a fighter that was in massive fights with a huge profile, that was making hundreds of thousands of pounds every fight or million, and they got an opportunity to fight at 2 weeks' notice against Bohocic, you probably wouldn't take it. you've got to look at Ish's position sometimes. And you've got to know that in 2 fights, over a period of 3 months, Ish has made 10 times more money than he would have made in the entire year. Okay? Money's important, especially for fighters that are looking to change their life and set themselves up post-boxing, set their families up, buy themselves a house, pay off their mortgage. For me, that's always the first priority. Legacy, of course, you've got to drive and you've got to push for legacy. But the reality is you can't eat legacy. And I want to make sure these fighters can go on to live a great life. Through these 2 fights, Ishmael Davis has secured pretty much his future and house and all that kind of stuff. Number 1, box ticked. I believed he could beat Josh Kelly. He started a little bit late in the fight. He nearly did it. This is another level in terms of, in my opinion, that kind of opposition. Although Josh is a great fighter, it's a different style. The Josh Kelly style didn't really suit Ishmael Davis. This style from Bohachik actually is tailor-made for Ishmael Davis, but it's at world level. So I look at it like this. First and foremost, it's a payday you can't turn down. Number 2, I like the style for you. Number 3, you're a quality fighter. On your night, you can compete with anyone. Number 4, you beat this kid, you're going to be mandatory to Sebastian Fundora and you're going to make a 7-figure payday. So let's fucking have it. That's how I look at it. And it's not about being brave, it's about being smart, calculated, strategic, and that's everything that aligned with this decision. But this is not like, we're not throwing in like some English champion at world level. Ish has the potential, you know, I believe he's British and European level already. He has the ability and potential to be a world-class fighter. Imagine if he'd done it. And he's right up against it. But the style, you know, Bohachik, he's just straight lines, he's relentless. He's a very good fighter. But I can't wait for that fight.
Elsewhere on the card, obviously, Peter McGrail is out here in Riyadh. He arrived, and at the start of the week, he was a little bit unsure when we spoke to him on Monday. He has a good fight against an unbeaten opponent in Reece Edwards, who was in camp for a fight in January, I believe. What is your take on, A, the fact that Peter is still on the card in a decent fight, and B, the whole situation regarding Dennis McCann right now? What is the latest you know?
Well, firstly, I mean, it's a shit position for anybody to be in. You know, I think it was last Saturday or Friday. I was out at dinner in Monaco. George Warren rang me, the emails came through from VADA. We couldn't believe it. I mean, you know how I've spoken about McCann McGrail. It's, for me, was the fight of the year, the British fight of the year, you know. I think that whenever someone tests positive, you automatically presume they're guilty. I think that's what everybody does. I think it never looks good, right? I mean, it's just the way it is, and there are many incidents where people have been unlucky, and I think people are innocent. There are also many more incidents where people have been deliberately cheating. But I think you need to allow the process to unfold. He's not my fighter. I don't have to sit here and say, give him a chance. I'm just telling you, I've seen before that sometimes the fighter's not at fault. Most times they are. But we have to allow the procedure to unfold. So, having been through this situation, I'm going to say nothing, especially as the fact that he's not my fighter. You know, that's one for comments for Queensbury or for McCann's team. But I'm saying it's done now. So he's out. He's not fighting anytime soon. But let him go through his procedure and try and state his case. For McGrail, we were devastated. And I've got to, and people, you know, accuse me of brown nosing, but I've got to shout out His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh, because at that point, you don't really look to keep McGrail on the card. You know, you've got a week to go. You're not going to get a great fight. Let's just move him and put somebody else on. And I said to His Excellency, this kid's been training for 10 weeks. It's not his fault. He's in Riyadh. His family are coming over. He's got fans that are coming over. The right thing to do is to keep him on the card. And he said to me, you're right, for you I will do it. And I won't forget that. And then it was actually trying to find an opponent. We looked at Baluta. He couldn't make the weight. We found a Mexican fighter that was a good fighter. And then Bizarrely, in this crazy world of boxing, I had a phone call with Ben Shalom about something completely different, and he said to me, will he fight Reece Edwards? I said, I'd heard of the kid, I don't know too much about him. 14-0, 15-0, looked at his record, good fighter.
16-0.
16-0, even better, that's unlike me to undersell it. But up at 120, 126, which is okay, because, you know, up at 130, which is a bit heavier than we'd like, but no problem, because we don't have to cut all the weight this week. He's training for a fight. So we spoke to Dr. Rakan, we spoke to His Excellency, they approved the fight, Gary Lockett approved, the money was approved, he's on the plane. How good is that? An undefeated fighter going, I'll have that. I mean, don't get me wrong, he's getting very well paid, but good luck to him. So there's a Matchroom v Boxer matchup and a good fight, McGrail against Edwards on Saturday.
So what weight, do you know what weight the fight is?
£130.
£130, okay. Also on the card, of course, a fight you're very invested in, which you remember you've got to be slightly impartial in the broadcast.
Sure.
It'll be interesting to see how you handle this one. Johnny Fisher, Dave Allen.
Why do I have to be impartial?
Well, because it's always got to be impartial, isn't it?
Why? Oh, what, on the broadcast?
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
No, not now, obviously. You say it
Tony
like
Bellew was good at that, wasn't he?
On Monday, Dave arrived and he looked like he hadn't had a haircut in a few months, and his beard was sticking out. But he got a haircut. He revealed a lovely chiselled jawline. He's in shape. And just from the brief interactions I've had with Johnny this week, he seems a different level of focus. What are the big questions here?
Understand this. This is a real fight. This is a real fight, because we're not getting Dave Allen, who's packed it all in, who just wants a few quid, who hasn't trained. You're getting a 10-week Dave Allen, who is getting the opportunity of a lifetime and has decided to digest his whole career and throw it into his energy in this fight. And it's a proper fight. This is a proper fight because Dave Allen is crafty, he's clever, he's got a granite chin, and when he's on it and up for it, he's very, very hard to break down and beat. He's also very, very experienced, very experienced. And Johnny's just got to be patient, he's got to be smart, don't get taken away by the moment. These are the kind, I mean, we talk about the experiences that Johnny's had and headlining cards. It's another level out here. And they'll feel that all week with a plane last night, tonight. It's different. Sometimes it can lift you, sometimes it can break you. And Johnny's just got to stay switched on. We cannot afford to get beat on Saturday night. The future for Johnny Fisher, I mean, the fights that are out there for him. I mean, I watched on Saturday night Dillian Whyte. Dillian Whyte's a great fighter, right? Dillian Whyte, tough as old boots. Johnny Fisher against Dillian Whyte at the O2 Arena, sign me up. It's a heavyweight bloodbath. You coming through, mate?
Yes.
Come on. How are you?
Fine, how are you?
Good, good, good.
Heavyweight bloodbath.
Yeah, but we can't, I'm not talking about any other fight, any other date, because Saturday's a real fight against two good blokes, by the way. And you know, I'll try to be impartial because I love Dave Allen, but I love Johnny Fisher. He's like one of the family. I mean, we got such an amazing journey ahead with Johnny Fisher, but understand this, at any moment in this division, things can change. So you've got to stay switched on. I know Johnny would have prepared well. It's a big night for him.
Who knows, we might see Johnny versus Moses Atauma down the line. He's also in a big fight, of course, this weekend.
I mean, if they both keep winning, Johnny against Moses is a nailed-on fight. Nailed on.
Calling the fights from ringside on DAZN is Adam Smith. To some people's surprise, that is the case. How and why did that happen?
A decision from DAZN. I mean, we don't do the production. Matchroom only do the production on our shows. And we have our production team.
Gone down very well on social media.
Listen, Adam is, for me, one of the greatest commentators ever in the sport of boxing. And, you know, we've got the most incredible team. You know, I mean, obviously we got the established talent, the Mike Costellos, the Darren Barkers, the Barry Jones, the Addies, and then we got the new work experience breed like yourself. But
competition winners.
No, but in, I don't know, 3 or 4 decades, you could also become established. Adam Smith, just a phenomenal, you know, and I think I'm really pleased that he gets the opportunity because he's been through a lot and he still remains one of the greatest boxing commentators of all time. So I think the biggest moment for Adam Smith this week is, in all honesty, is that he's part of the broadcast team that includes me. I mean, of everything that he's done. So looking forward to, teaming up with him.
Yeah, echo that. Great to have Adam back. Not so sure that he'll agree with what you just said there, but great to have him back on the comms. An AI judge.
Love it.
Thoughts on that?
Love it. Again.
How is that going to work exactly?
Well, I don't know. I mean, speak to him, I'll find out. But great. Listen, anything we can do to evolve, anything we can do to improve scoring, I don't know whether... I mean, I'm guessing it's in relation to some CompuBox stats or some sensory stats, I don't know. But you can bet your life that if his excellence is behind it, it's not going to just be some geezer tapping a button.
Right. But you think that could be the future, potentially?
No, not necessarily, but I think it will be interesting to see the difference. Don't be surprised if Saturday's controversial.
Ooh.
Any close fight, let's hope the judging's bang on.
Last couple now, just a few bits I want to get through. Quick word on the MJ fallout. We know Inoue had a bit to say as well. What is the latest with the WBA and that fight?
I mean, the WBA have said after Goodman, you've got, I think, 10 days or 14 days to decide, are you going to fight Inoue or are you going to vacate the belt? He's in a terrible position. Let me tell you why. Because he's talking to His Excellency. They want an undisputed fight. If he drops one of those belts, he's no longer undisputed. It's absolutely game, set and match, or as I prefer, checkmate. Because he cannot afford to not be undisputed, and they will not fight Akhmadaliev. Because they've already decided to try and fight Picasso in the summer in America, and then fight out here in Riyadh season in the winter. So that's fine. If you're still going to duck into Akhmadaliev, you've got to vacate the belt. And if you do that, you'll no longer be undisputed. And if you do that, don't expect Bam to come up and fight you either. Because we want undisputed when we beat you. So I've got two fighters that can beat Inoue. One is Akhmadaliev, one is Bam. We're ready.
What is the latest on both Jack Catterall and Mr. Conor Benn?
So Jack Catterall, we're right on the line now with Barboza. We've been negotiating with Eric Gomez and Golden Boy, all been very smooth. Obviously, look, Barboza's within his rights to argue his point. He's coming to the UK, he's coming to Manchester. It's a final eliminator now, not just for the WBO, but the IBF as well. It's a massive fight and it's getting a lot of money, but I hope he takes it because it's a real fight for the division. And hopefully we can get that over the line for a massive show in Manchester. Conor Benn, I believe everything will be decided this week. We'll speak to everybody out here and then we'll make our decision.
Where's your gut feeling telling you that fight will happen?
Which one?
Ben, Eubank. Will that be in Saudi?
If it happens, I mean, it's only 50-50 to happen.
Okay.
So I think if it happens, it'll be in the UK.
And if it's not Eubank, you think it will be Barrios?
That's the fight we want. That's the fight he wants.
And that could be in London?
Yes.
Crocker Donovan, heard a few rumours on the rumour mill. We might have to edit this bit out because I don't know if it's true. Final eliminator for Boots Ennis.
Yeah, that's not a rumour. I don't know why our team have not put that out. That is confirmed with the IBF. Crocker Donovan is a final eliminator for the mandatory position for Jaron Ennis. It is a massive fight. The response for that fight, we got a problem because the date in that arena would only allow us, I think, 5,000 or 6,000 because of the setup, because there's something else in on the Sunday or something. So I said to Frank Smith, you've got to get that arena as big as possible because the demand's been massive. And I want a real lively undercard that night as well. We'll sell the whole Odyssey out if we're allowed. So hopefully we can go from 6 to 9 or whatever it is.
Just finally, down this lens, DAZN this weekend, a little bit of everything. The broadcast team not as strong as it perhaps could have been, but the fights.
Well, I mean, listen, the DAZN broadcast team is stronger than ever. I mean, obviously, you do have a choice of broadcasters with these Riyadh season events. Why on earth would you watch it anywhere else other than DAZN? And jokes aside, you do know that DAZN are the host broadcaster, right? DAZN are the ones that are putting the entire broadcast together. So every other broadcaster just takes a feed from them. It's so too bob. It's like, I mean, best way to explain it. I mean, it's like, I don't mean to be disrespectful, but it's like going to buy a pair of Jordans from like I don't know, a proper shoe retailer.
Good explanation is, by the way.
Yeah, or going to pick one up from...
It's getting better.
Let's do that bit again.
Brilliant. We can't. It's one hit.
We can't. Oh, fuck. But anyway, I didn't want to be condescending to other broadcasters, but basically the only place to watch this fight is live on DAZN. Because they are the host broadcaster. They are investing in their production for this event. No one else is. Everybody's just taking a feed, right, and sending a couple of people on site. DAZN is the home of boxing. DAZN is the only place to watch Fury Usyk, and DAZN has me as part of the broadcast team.
Wow.
So, all respect to other broadcasters, great to have you. The reality is, the place to watch Fury Usyk on Saturday is live and exclusive on DAZN, wherever you are in the world.
Eddie Hearn, good luck on Saturday. Do your best.
What are you going to be doing?
Me?
On the ground, yeah?
On the ground, yeah.
Yeah, great.
I might get you one.
Cheers.